MDs, I was going to make this update video for everybody, but it's only going to you for a couple reasons. You can choose to want to share this. I have numbers. Let me tell you what these numbers are. This is the $136 million bonus number. And the reason why I, as an SVP, may share this with my group, and if let's just say your SVP did share this with you and you're watching this, you're not an MD, and you're saying, wow, my SVP shared this video with me, is because they're trying to inspire you to realize that if you become an MD, the bonus you can get on the plus minus is so big that new rookie MDs, for the biggest growth they have, they'll have an edge over everybody else who stays flat. So SVPs, you choose to share it, great. You don't, it's up to you. But I have exact numbers of who the top 5 bonuses would be in every net SVP. And I have numbers for which net SVPs are up by what percentage, which ones are on track for 75, 100%, 125% growth. And some are way above 100%. You'll be shell-shocked with that. I have a Cancun update for some of you that have been asking about me about Cancun update. I got which MDs don't have a recruit for the month. I got the 510 who didn't hit the 510 minimum for you to realize what happens with this bonus moving forward. So everybody kind of has an idea why we're doing this and what the names are on that list. And then a few other numbers to compare this month's March recruiting numbers versus July, the first 18 months on what you did this month versus July, because last July we had our biggest recruiting month ever, 4,700, and we're way ahead of track. Right now we're at 2,340 recruits in the first 18 days of the month. And that July, we were only at 1,568 recruits in the first 18 days of the month. We're up 772 recruits this March over last July. We're way ahead of last year's March, but I'm comparing against the best month ever, not just last year's March. And I'll tell you where you rank plus minus MD. So let me get right into the first part. All right, let me tell you what this is. Private jet tour that's coming up. You saw me do this in 2017 when I did a couple of these tours. I think 2017 and maybe I think it was 2017. We are looking at a list, and we're getting a bigger jet this time. It's not going to be a 4-seater or 6-seater. It's going to be probably a 10-seater and an 8-seater. So we're spending a little bit more resources to kind of give you an idea what it's going to look like. Here's what it's going to look like, the jet inside. And each group will be a different group. If you remember last time, I'd go, Sheena would be with me, Chris would be with me, Phelps, and then maybe Ricky would be with me, or Erica would be with us, and then we'd go, and this time Ricky would be with us, and, you know, Matt joined on another leg, and then, you know, whoever else would come. Vargas was another leg, and all these other people, right? All these other guys. And the reason why I'm doing this thing, and it's going to be a 3-week tour. I'll be on the road for 3 weeks. And the month of June is the dates we're looking at. And we'll contact some of the office on which ones we're going to do this with. No one's yet guaranteed that we're coming to you. It's nothing like that. I have a list of names that I have on this list here. They're all here, just so you know some of the names I have. I'm looking at LA. Am I going to do a Burbank? Am I going to do a specific Burbank, a Tarzana, or New York, and Oak Brook, Houston, Baco, maybe only Visalia? I don't know, maybe a Fresno, Santa Ana, you know, Orlando, Jacks, Miami, all these locations, Maryland, Virginia, I have all these locations, NorCal, San Jose, Lodi, Rancho, all of these. I have about 40 locations on this list here. Obviously, I can't go to all of them. During the 3-week tour, I'm going to all of them. Not our leaders are going to go to all 3 weeks. I'll have a leg that someone will go with me that will switch, and we'll pick you up, and the next person, next person, next person. Last time we brought a lot of new MDs that went on that flight with us. We had Michael Brown on some of them. We had some of the newer MDs that were having that. They just got their ring or $150,000, $250,000. And so this is an opportunity for you and I to spend some time together. These are the next Chairman's Council. These are the next Million Point Base Shop Builders. These are the next board councils. These are the next people for you to sit down and see exactly when I come to your city and I do a 2-hour one-on-one. This is not for Super BOM and all that other stuff. I'm mainly coming. Some of the offices I'll do Super BOM, but I'm mainly coming in with the leaders to do a one-on-one smaller group setting mentoring sessions, and with the private jet. So some stops, some days when we may be hitting 3 different stops. I remember last time I think we went to I don't know what it was, Visalia, and then we went Santa Maria, and then we were in Phoenix that morning. So it's nonstop. And when you're in that, you're like a rock star going on these tours. I'll be picking who these people are based on your performances in March, April, and we'll be looking very closely in, and we'll be giving an announcement when the tour starts in the month of June, what the dates are going to be, etc. So stay tuned for that. But that's something. It's going to be mainly the offices that are performing. It's going to be mainly the people that we pick to be a part of this, that are aligned, performing, crushing it, that want to be a part of it. So you will be hand selected. I'll give you a more clear observation on that to know what you need to do to be a part of it. As far as March Madness goes so far right now, when I'm looking at this, Vargas are way ahead of Sisme Avelar, 304-87. I'd like to see a bigger fight from Avelar's. Elvana against Castro. Castros are beating Elvana by 36 points. It'd be interesting to see if Elvana is going to put up a bigger fight. Zaldo against Del Valle, 59-88. Del Valle's ahead. Castillo against Alejandro, 78-215. So nothing crazy going on there. Ricky and Erica Cobos, Cobos only 58. Ricky and Erica 327. Eatman 127. Almaraz 36. Marcelo 77. Marroquin is crushing Marcelo by 100 points, 175-77. Saldana against Paulette. Neither one of them is really killing it. Paulette came off a victory with Palaio, and I've not seen anything crazy coming out. For 2 weeks, only 33 points. Saldana's got 66 points. Gaitan 174. El Genero only 21. Close matchup, Carmen Diaz against Renee and Dalila. That's a very important matchup. It's like one of the best from MSM facing one of the best from We the People, and it's a tie game. Gaines against Vicky and Anna. Wow, Gaines is fighting 95 to Vicky and Anna 74. Another pride matchup right there. Mason against Del Toro. Mason 100. Del Toro 162. We'll see if Mason's going to put up a fight there. I know Erica's working her butt off right now. It's all I hear about how hard Erica's working right now. So proud of Erica as a leader herself. She's always wanting to set the right example for her team. Conquistadors, net SVP. Sheena Matsapala 223. Piedad 25 points. Musgrove 147. Luan only 43. Michael Bryan 58. Suazo beating Michael Bryan by 30 points nearly, 85-58. And then Solis against Hansberry, close fight, 122-117. 122-117. Solis is beating Hansberry by 5 points, even though Hansberry's on Dream Team Call. Today's Dream Team Call, if you want to know what today's Dream Team Call was, my phone blew up afterwards at how emotional some people got on today's Dream Team Call. Just ask Alejandro about today's Dream Team Call. That's all I will tell you. It was a special type of a Dream Team Call. So that's that March Madness. Look, every time we do March Madness or championship round, this is all I'm looking for. I'm looking for 4 different things every single time. One is an old-timer who has been the same for a while and is kind of stubborn to want to recreate themselves and bring a new version of themselves out. Every time I watch to see, is this person going to change? Is that person going to change? Sometimes I watch when somebody gets kicked out, how they react. Sometimes I watch a new and up-and-coming person that wants to become a whole new leader, and you just see a fight in them. Like, imagine if Mason beats Graziani and then Mason beats Del Toro. And then sometimes you see the same old somebody that just says, listen, I'm a whole different person. I become a great example. I always watch to see who becomes a new version of them during these fights. So I don't know what you're going to choose to do, but I'll be watching that very closely. Numbers, let me give you a couple numbers here about where you rank this year over last year so you can kind of see exactly what your plus minus is this March, the first 18 days versus July, and see who's leading the way more than anybody else in the company on the plus minus. You'll be surprised to see who's at the top. Let me show you. Okay, so let me show you the biggest plus minus at the top. See Ricky and Erica right there, plus minus 72 recruits, meaning last July, our record-breaking month, they did only 31 in the first 18 days of the month. This March, which we're at 2,340, they're already at 103 for the month, plus 72, 232%. Look where second place is. Alejandro number 2, he's up 65. Marroquin up 48. Eatman's up 25.5. Alex G up 25. Alborzi up 24. Look at Alborzi. He did 32 this month so far. He was at 8 last July. Solis 23. Terrazas is up 23. Carmen Diaz up 23. Suazo 23. Castillo's 21. Hansberry 20. Edith Quartas 20. Let's see what we got here. Terrace 19. Good job, Terrace. Avelar is up 19. Pimber up 18.5. Iris Torres up 18. Good job, Iris. Danny, 18. New MD Director, Sapala. Melissa Lopez up 18. Perez up 17. Sapala's up 16. Gomez up 16. Good job, Gomez. Phelps 16. Kaluer 16. Gaitan up 15.5. Renee and Dalila up 15. Mario and Sandra Reyes up 15. Corman 15. Palaio's up 15. Banegas 12. Sherrod, Okafor. You see a bunch of these rookie MDs up 12. Up 11. Jonathan Palaio. Polson. Castro up 10. Trailer up 10. Go back here. Trailer Musgrove up 10. Look at all these names. Look where you're at. Just kind of measure yourself. Donna Joe up 8. These are all the people that are up. Everybody here is up. See your names? Study yourself and the MDs. Let me go to the next page. Okay, we're about to get to both first page and second page. Everybody's up, minimal. Everybody's up on this list. Vargas up only 4. Think about it. If I'm Ricky and Eric, I'm sizing up. I'm saying we can catch up to those guys because their base isn't growing as fast as ours is right now, recruiting-wise. Look at everybody else. People can be caught. Look at the names. All these people are up 3. Graziani's up only 2. Okay, you're going down, down, down. Let's see what we got here. See, all these people are up 1. These are even, and then you have down. Len is down 1. Rich Love is down 1. Chapman is 1. You could tell 90% is up. Say 80% is up. And then these are the ones that are down. Okay. Dina's down 1. 1.5. Vera is down 2. Paulette is down 2. The idea is to constantly beat your prior best, man. These guys are down 4, down 5, down 6. Okay, you're going down here. Okay, Hindi down 16.5. Michael Bryan down 13. Cindy down 10. Del Toro down 19. Del Valle down 21. Hart down 21. Richardson down 25. And then Jorge and Catalina Almaraz down 20. So that's where you're at right now, plus minus for the year. Here's some of the MDs, by the way. I think we've got 184 MDs that have a direct for the year, minimum of a recruit for the year. These are the MDs that don't have a recruit. We need 17 more MDs to get 1 more base recruit for us to crack 200. Let me give you the names here. Afiong, Alvaro Astorga, Alejandro Jimenez, Angie Alvarez, Anna Murphy, Ben Beal, Berta Villaruel, Chad Terpstra, Sharice Price, Eatman III, Tate, Sanchez, Ayala, Guerra, Moral, San Sanders, we got Joshua Graziani, Kanisha Taylor, Krista and Anthony Griffith, Chester, Manny Lopez, Artega, Zavala, Colmenares, Gordon, Restituyo, Rojas, Rafael Aguilar Lopez, Rita, Rosetonia Zapala, Ryan Denery, Cifuentes, Bamondi, Vicente, Vincent Sendejas, Vinci Hernandez, Chanel Consuji, and Yvette Perez. If 17 of you get MDs, get a recruit, we'll do our first 200 MDs to get a recruit in a month in their base shop. So I covered some of that stuff here for you. Let me give you some numbers for some of you guys that are running to hit your bonuses. These are the checks, okay? These are the checks on where people are at and how many new licensed agents you got. These are the checks. These are the licensed agents. Let me read the people that got 2 or more licensed agents so far for the month. Zaldo Ote, Altima, Sabetimani, Banegas, Michael Bryan, Godinez, Jason Graziani, Suazo Castillo, Gerda Williams, Elvana, Musgrove, Cuarta, Sears, Del Toro, Bryan, David Bryan, Gomez, Cobos, Brianna Del Valle, Castro Gaines, Alish, Dallas Gutierrez all have 2. The following have 3. Zoila, Santos, Tony Rojas, Kluwer, Erosi, Welch, Cape Hart, Coulthard all have 3 licensed agents. Ricky and Erica Eatman have 4. Ricky and Erica, that's the one thing they got to pick up against Vargas is. René Dalila Reyes, Gaitan Palayo, Netter, Solis all have 5. Zapala has 6, Vargas 7, Danny Singson 7, Nori Bohusa 8. Del Valle is leading the way with 10 new licensed agents. These are checks for your bonuses. Ready? I give the names of people that have 2 or more checks. Tony Rojas, Ote, René Dalila, Ariano, Michael Bryan, Leland Sebastian, Jennifer Lopez, Suazo, Orozco, Musgrove, Sears, Del Toro, Solis, Gaines all have 2 new checks. Zoila has 3. The Juste, Eatman, Castro all have 3. Zapala, Hansberry, Kahindi, George Palayo, Gerda Williams, Ricky and Erica 4. Marroquin 5. Marroquin direct 2. Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas. And number 1, Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas, 10 new checks already for the month. Let me talk about this next part here. Listen, we told you guys, gang, you got to get a minimum of 5 recruits and 10,000 points to get 100% of your generational override. If you don't, you get half the override. Because the idea is if the upline is not in the game, somebody has to work with your MDs because you're definitely not doing it, right? So if you're not doing it, somebody has to overlap. That person gets the override. So let me explain. For instance, these people didn't hit a minimum of their 510 last month. Brittany did 5 recruits last month, but she didn't get the 5,000 base points. She doesn't get full override. Carlos Medrano got 4 base recruits, and he barely did 8,800 points. He doesn't get the full override. Chad only got 1 base recruit, 3,100 points. He missed out on 50% of override, $1,554. You know who that rolls up to? Half of it rolls up to Sapalas because Matt is the one that's working with everybody under Chad. Chad's not building the leaders. Matt gets that override, not Chad. That's why we have this concept. We don't keep the money. It rolls up to the next person that's working with them. Richardson's didn't hit their minimum by only 141 points. Richardson's override of $356 rolls up to Sapalas. Diana Joe didn't hit her minimum because she missed the points by 39 points. She didn't hit 10,000 points by 39 points. She missed that, and that cost her $3,563 of not hitting her bonuses. Diana Powers didn't do the minimum, cost her $155. Hector Pena didn't hit the minimum. That rolled up to Roger and Brenda. Neither did Jamal. Neither did Paul Medrano. His number would have rolled up to Diana Joe, but she also didn't hit it. So rolls up to the company. Hedberg didn't hit the minimum. Her 478 rolls up to Sapalas on Hansberry's override. Ricardo Lopez Nieves didn't hit the minimum by 2,700 points. His override of Roger and Brenda of $2,666. You ready? Rolls up to Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas. Ricardo, hit your minimum of 5 recruits and 10,000 points. Unique recruits. You can't pay for the NA. Some people have tried to pay for the NA. We don't count that. The recruit has to pay for the NA. You can't pay for the NA, and your numbers got a place for this to count. Rich Love didn't hit the minimum. His roll override on, I think it's Wendy probably, that rolled up to Sapalas 451. And then Ortiz didn't hit his minimum. His override also rolls up to Sapalas as well. The same thing with Chanel Kansuji. Her override gets split between Vargas and Jason because they work with Almaraz. So this will be sent to you an email by Morale. You will get it, gang. 5 recruits, 10,000 points. If you cannot do 5 recruits, 10,000 points, to us, that means retired. It's not a big number, 5 recruits, 10,000 points. This goes away the moment you hit Chairman's Council. Hit Chairman's Council, that means you've done your part of developing 12 leaders. You've earned the right. Now, let's talk about some good news here. I have to talk about that because everybody has to realize that. Here's the good news. Cancun, ready? I told you in the last video that I'm going to introduce something with Cancun because some people are like, Pat, I want to go to Cancun. You know, you talked about this Cancun, that Cancun. Some people qualified. I missed it. I was close, but I really want to, if you open it up, I promise you I'm going to work my butt off to get qualified for Cancun. I said, okay, 10 new slots, only for MDs. You ready? Here's what you got to do. March, April, May, 10 new slots. And I guarantee you this Cancun trip's probably going to be the sickest one because a lot of people that are going to be there, and this whole volleyball thing is turning into a frenzy where a lot of people are going to want to participate in this, seeing who can put the best team together that wins continuously. People are already talking about it. I keep hearing about it. So Cancun, the first 10 MD-based shops from March to May 31st, who do 50, 50, 100 with 3 new checks, you qualify on company guidelines. Let me tell you why I said company guidelines. Some of your SVPs are nice and they create some stuff for you to qualify for Cancun, but I want you to know something. There is pride in you qualifying on the company guidelines. It's a difference when your company guidelines, because we create stuff for you. You get letters from us. You participate in our guidelines. But the first 10 that do 50, 50, 100 with 3 new checks, first 10 to do it, you're going to Cancun. For some of you, look at me. If you're thinking I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. Yes, you are overdue to qualify for a company trip by qualifying for the company trip. And it's only 50, 50, 100 in a 90-day period. You got to do it anyways because of all the other bonuses. But if you do it here, you'll qualify to go to Cancun with us. Record-breaking month. We're on track, having our biggest annuity month ever. I mean, it's just insane right now what's going on. I won't even get too much into it. All I can tell you is it's about to be the biggest month ever. 5th place, Carl's got $296,000 again. Number 4 is Alexander Frederick with 308. Morel Everlin's got 340. Flavia Orozco's got 380, and number 1 is Rosella Galindo right now so far with 460, and it's not even close. The fact that this is not even slowing down. The annuities are coming in left and right. We're on track for having a $12 million month in annuities. For base shop coordinators, who won the base shop coordinator February contest? The base shop coordinator February contest went to Brenda Maldonado and Terry Rodriguez. I've met both of them. I met them right outside of my room with my wife. They know exactly what I'm talking about. Phenomenal job. This is a quality of business in good order. Congrats to these guys. Send them some love. Okay, so I covered all that stuff. Now we got to talk about bonuses. But prior to talking about bonuses, let me talk about this, and then I'll talk about bonuses. Gang, listen, we have 10,300 tickets that are sold. A lot of you guys have record-breaking tickets sold ever in your base shop, okay? So you have to have a strategy on how to get all those people to that big event. Obviously, the company's up, which means the company as a whole is going to fill up the seats. But this is not about the company. This is about your company. This is about your base shop. This is about your net SVP. And I will tell you, for me, there is no way in the world I'm going to let you, if I'm competing with you, beat me percentage-wise in trainers. It's just no way. You're not going to do it. You know why? Because this is proven. This is not a gimmick. It's proven. MDs, I have a list of, let me see if I have the list here. I thought they brought it in. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to shoot. So I got what I was looking for. Here's a list of MDs that are not registered for train-the-trainers. But let me first tell you what I'm talking about with train-the-trainers. Listen, I send this number to a lot of different people. People tell me, Pat, I'm trying to be a 20. I'm trying to be an SMD. I'm trying to be EMD. I ask them, what do you want to be? What title do you want to walk across the stage at the annual convention that we have in August? This is 10-year anniversary. What are you going to walk across the stage? Everybody here has got to try to walk across the stage for something, all of you, as a promotion, because it's 10 years. It's what we're going to be partying at the end of the night. So somebody, I want to be an SMD. I want to walk across as an EMD, SVP, EVP, all this stuff. I said, look, formula is very simple. To be SMD, you got to take 20 people to train the trainers. It's the formula. To be an EMD, you need somewhere around 40 to 50. SVP, you need around 100. You get 100 people to train the trainers, you're going to be an SVP team. It's just what it is. If you get 100 people to that number, it's what's worked out. Then EVP, you got to go 150, 200, then you got all these other numbers that you're looking at to get to the next title. Chairman's Council, bigger number, you know, that you got to get there. Because it's what happens when people leave a place like this. So now, here's who's got people registered and what numbers they got. SVPs. Net SVP from bottom to top. Kendi's only got 10. Del Toro's got 20. Donna Joe's got 21. Cooper's only 32. Palau's 34. Marvin and D 44. Gaitan 50. Net SVP. Alejandro's only got 54. That's a small number, Ricky. If you just realize 54 is Alejandro, I see just Ricky and Erica having 150 at Train the Trainers. Literally, Ricky and Erica, 150 at Train the Trainers. That is only 7% of the attendees. It's not a big number, Ricky and Erica. You got to have minimum 150 at Train the Trainers. Vargas, 62. Phelps, 72. Phelps has more registered than Vargas's net SVP. Let me say this again. Phelps have more registered for Train the Trainers than Vargas's net SVP. Graziani's got 143. And then you got Sapala 174. One thing Graziani's going to do is he's going to leverage, obviously, with Train the Trainers. Base shop-wise, when you look at the numbers, I'll say anybody that's got 5 or more: Avelar, Ortiz, Torango, Rodriguez, Maldonado, George Palayo, Almaraz, Marroquin, Cobos, Carmestian all have 5. Wendy Thompson, Sherrod, Nick Bryan, Mario and Sandro Reyes, Richardson, Del Valle, Brianna, 6. Alborzi, 7. Very excited about where Alborzi. Liz Garcia, Suazo, Giovanna Castillo, Eatman, Rivera, 8. 7. Pimbers, 8. Alfredo Garcia, 8. Webb, Coulthard, Cerna, Macpanti, Terrazas, all those are EIP, by the way. Sears, Hart, 9. Jennifer Lopez, Vera, Phelps, 10. Trailer 11, Alex Gutierrez. Alejandro, 13. Come on in. Del Toro, 14. Michael Bryan, we got 15. Castro, Russack, 16. Hansberry, 17. Gaitan, 18. Mason, Graziani, 19. Vargas, 21. I thought Vargas would be a lot higher than that. Ricky and Erica, 25. Del Valle, 27. Sapalas have, that's what, 4:45 in a few minutes. I'll be out there in a minute. Sapalas have 30 at the number 1 spot. These are the MDs that haven't yet registered for Train the Trainers. Let me simplify it for you. If you don't attend Train the Trainers as an MD, you don't have to be there, but we also don't have to give you GB and participate in equity. That part is optional. If you look at that part, we give that part to people that are aligned, that are following a certain ways that the company has guidelines. And as an MD, you got guidelines to set. Following names haven't even registered yet. Rafael Aguilar, Ariano, Octavio haven't registered yet. Manuel Ortega, Astorga, Eddie Ayala, Stephanie Arturo Bamondi, Ben Beal, Brandon Bowman, David Bryan, Joy Bryan, Casey and Mario Perez not registered. Miguel Caminero, Marilee Capehart, Cardenas, Lindora Chester, Colmenares, Edward Correa, J.M. Bree Cruz, Maritza and Craig, Edith Cuartas, Claudia Denny, De Juste, who's somebody, I'm a fan of those guys. They just got to really, Whistler, you guys got to, you guys, De Juste, Everardo Duarte, Maria Elizaraga, Everett, Gaines is not registered yet. Galindo, Liz Garcia, Alvana Galson, Lorenzo Godinez, Gomez, Diego Obdulio Gomez Castaneda, that's like 4 people, but it's only one name. Angie Gomez Alvarez, Carlo Gonzalez, Jose Gonzalez Davia, Pedro Gordillo, Flash Gordon, Marlon Gordon, Edwin Guerra, Rebecca Hedberg, Kim and Omar Hernandez, Vici Hernandez, Alejandro Jimenez, Kelroy Kohatsu, Kenneth Lamberson, David Leon, Patricia Rojas, Manuel and Elisa Romo, Dulce Carmen Sanchez, Hassan Sanders, Renault Sims, Danny Singson, Solis Banegas, DeAndre Tate, Kanisha Taylor, Kahindi Thomas is not registered. Marco Trujillo, Marcelo Vargas, Berta Villaluel, Frank and Norma Viteri, Joe Warren, Richard and Monique Welch, Dan and Myrna Wilkins, Zavala, Joe Ziegler are not registered yet to Train the Trainers. Okay, that's what you got with Train the Trainers. This is your ticket to an explosion in 2019. By the way, watch those who don't, and those who do, just watch the separation get wider and wider. Very simple. And by the way, for some of you that are behind the 8 ball and you are like so sick of everything, I would be fully obsessed with getting all my guys qualified for Train the Trainers, because this is where you go from here and a guy's way ahead of you. Boom, you catch up. We saw this happen in PHP multiple times where Vargas has passed people up, Del Toro's passed people up, Ricky and Erica passed people up, Alejandro passed people up. We've seen Sapalas surpass people just because of what they did at Train the Trainers, while everybody was kind of looking at us saying, oh, it's just Pat promoting. Pat's promoting again. It's all good, Pat promoting. And Sapalas kept separating income to the point where now people don't compete with Sapalas in income. Think about that. Everybody competes against everybody except for Sapalas in income, because they took Train the Trainers seriously. And again, they have the most people qualified for Train the Trainers. So last but not least, let me give you this announcement here about the bonuses, the $136 million bonus. Ready? So I'll first give you who's on track. Then I'll tell you what the numbers look like at who's at the top. All right, here's what we're going to do. And by the way, all of you guys are about to get an email. Not all of you. The SVPs are about to get an email. And it's going to break down everything detailed by detail every month where you're at. And I'm about to make a comp video that's going to explain this as well. All right. So let's go through this together here. Ready? Let's go through this together here. I'm going to flip it so you guys can see. Okay, so these are the names. This is the recruiting category. This is points. This is first checks. The ones that I've highlighted are the ones that have hit the minimum of 75%. Okay, for instance, Phelps. This year they have 302 recruits. Last year they had 320. They're minus 5.5% in recruits. Okay. Alejandro had 895 this year. Last year they were at 402. They are up 123%, close to 125% to additional bonus you would get. Kahindi is down 12%. Del Valle is up 177% net SVP. Coopers are up 92.5. They would need to be up 7.5 to crack the 100% bonus. Diana Joe's up 33.6. There are a handful of SVPs that are not up 75%. They're one of them. They're only up 33%. Gaitan's up 55.7%. Del Toro's up 186.6%. Palaio's up 25%, 587 versus 469 Palaio, if you look at that. Sapalas up, even though a bigger number, they're killing last year's number by 98%. Graziani's up only 43%. Look at Rodolfo and Ceci. They're up 118% in recruits. Okay, so that's that part. And you can come up here to see kind of what the numbers look like, but I have them here next to you. Points. Phelps only up 3%. Alejandro's up 131%. Kendi Thomas down 22%. Del Valle up nearly 150%. Cooper up 84%. Diana Joe up 82%. So if Diana Joe doesn't have the other bonuses met, only this one, they would only bonus on this year at the 75% number. Gaitan's up only 2.9% on points. Del Toro's up 143.9%. Palaio's up 55%. Sapalas up 75%. Jason Graziani up 60%. Look at Vargas is 129%. Oh my gosh. If they only realized what their bonus would be here with the recruits, if they had all of them. Now let's go to first checks. Phelps is up. Everybody's up on checks except for Diana Joe and Gaitan's. Everybody else is up. Phelps up 18%, but they got to be up a minimum of 75%. Alejandro's up only 48%. That's a number you guys got to pay attention to. Kendi's up 94% in checks. That means they would only get the bonus on the checks. Del Valle's up 144% in checks. Cooper's up 185%. Del Toro's up 300%. Palaio's up 97%. Sapala's up 125%. Graziani's up 237%. And then Vargas is up 186%. They're at 53 new checks. Only one person's beating them with the 53 new checks, and that's over there with 90 new checks. So now let's look at what these numbers really mean when it comes down to bonus-wise, okay? what the numbers really means if it comes down to bonus-wise. Okay, so here's you have it. This is an estimate for now until you get the emails in sent to you. So recruits. If Phelps organization hits 75% in recruits, the bonus is $15,000. Okay? If they hit in points, 75%, you see the points here? Points, if they hit 75%, is $31,000 bonus. And new checks is $13,000 bonus. But if they hit 100%, look what happens with the numbers. The total goes to 181%. It's a big difference. And if they hit 125, the total goes to 362% in bonuses. It's a difference between 75, 100, 125. So now, who would get this bonus? Well, 50% of this would go to them, which is 180 grand, or 90 grand, or 30 grand. And the rest of the bonus would be split amongst the top 5 MDs plus minus to get that bonus. Okay, so now let's look at the next ones. Alejandro's. If they hit 75% on all, it's 69 grand. 100% is 209 grand. 125% is $418,000. Candy Thomas's would be 51, 155, 310. Del Valle's would be 36, 110, 220. Cooper's would be 76, 234, 61. Dino Joe's would be 63, 190, 380. These are real checks. Gaitan's would be 94, 282, $564,000 if they're up 125%. Del Toro's will be 64, 194, 388. Palayo's will be 87, 263, 526. Sapala's will be 174, 522, $1,044,000. Graziani would be 86, 258, 516. Vargas's will be 134, 402, 804. Oh my gosh. And so now the question is, well, Pat, who's at the top? Ready? For Jose Marlin Gaitan, who's at the top for the plus minus? You ready to be shell shocked? I'll give you the ranking here from bottom to top. Kenneth Lamberson at the bottom. Then would be Perez, Carlis Bell, Huntla, Patino, Mario and Sandra, Carla Mitra, Paulette and Siomek, Mertz and Craig. You ready? The biggest plus minus? Alborzi, number 1. Alborzi would get, if it ended today and Gaitan's hit the minimum of 75%, okay? Let's just say Gaitan's hit the 125% today, and Alborzi is number 1 on plus minus. Jose Marlin would get 280 grand. Alborzi would get 50% of the 280 grand, which is what? $140,000. There you go. $140,000 would be paid to Alborzi if he was number 1 on the plus minus. Look at Sapala's plus minus. He's at the top. Check this out. Juan Maldonado is number 10. Then it's Macpanti. And by the way, if you're 50-50, they only get 50% of this net SVP. And then they would go 50% of Jason's net SVP. And then the rest would flow through the organization. Avelar, Saldana, Welch, Bianca Rist, Suazo, Musgrove, Hansberry, Carmen Diaz, number 1 golf score. They would get the biggest plus minus on the bonus, which, just so you know, Carmen, that check would be a multi-6-figure check. Real money is what we're talking about. Let's look at Vargas's. Rodier and Brenda at the bottom, then Pedro Gordillo, Nieves, Alvara, Merrily Capehart, Marcelo Vargas, Banegas, Rene and Dalila, David and Sandra, Flor and Boris at the top. Golf score, lowest score. They're at the top above everybody. They'd get a massive, massive check. Let me tell you what they would get if it ended today. Just so you know, Vargas this is the kind of stuff that gives you freedom. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that gives you freedom. Let's see where you are, Vargas. What was your number? You guys should remember what the number was. I just want to show it to you to make it real for you. Okay, I think this is it. No? Oh, here you go. Ready? 804,000 divided by 2 is $400,000. If it ended today, Marroquin, you would get a $200,000 check if it ended today. This is real numbers. Flash Gordon. At the bottom, this is Palayo's net SVP. Boom, 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 boom. Michael Bryan wouldn't be it would be Jonathan Palayo is who it would be. Michael Bryan's only 25%. Jonathan Palayo would be the number 1 plus minus. And then it'd be Terrace. Robert Tassia, look where you're at. Look who you don't see on that list. You don't see Cobos because she's not increasing her plus minus. Other people are. Whoever hustles the most gets those checks. Pretty nice, isn't it? Or who it benefits. Okay, let me continue. Del Toro's. Here's what Del Toro's would look like. At the top, Natalia Suazo Benegas, believe it or not, would be number 1 in their bonus because they're 50-50. So they would bonus here before Edith Quartas would, just because they're 50-50 here. Okay, under Jason Graziani at the top would be Angel and Allie, and then it's Coulthard. Then it's Michael, Traylor, Gordillo. Wow. Wow, because it's plus minus. Angel and Allie would still be at the top on the bonus. Yes, they would be. They'd be getting the biggest check on the IB. Let me continue. You guys are starting to realize this is real money we're talking about. Donna Jones at the top would be Alexis Pelaez, apparently. Yes? Alexis Pelaez would be at the top. That is classic. Obviously, that's going to be changing, but that's what it would look like today. And then it would be Alfredo and Crystal Garcia. Rosa Madrid, look at Solis where he's at. Okay, you got to do plus minus. Del Valle at the top would be Nori. Okay, Nori would be at the top. Cooper's at the top would be Luke Rayford, then Corman, then Maritza and Craig, although they're 25. They wouldn't be in this one. Hart would be there. Joseph Warren would be there. Look at all the names because it's plus minus, all three categories. Phelps, Zaldo's at the top, then Orozco, then Castro, then Gloria, then Carla Mitra. It's plus minus. You don't see Pimbers there because it's plus minus. Whoever grows the most, whoever grows the company the most participates. Alejandro Aguilar, not even close. Ricky and Erica at the top. Sweep is what it is at the top. We got Casey and Mario, which is under Ricky and Erica. Then you got Castillos, which is under Ricky and Erica. Then you got Melissa Lopez, which is under Ricky and Erica. Is anybody from Alejandro's net SVP going to get something outside of Ricky and Erica's leg? Maybe Eric, maybe Luan. We don't know yet. We will find out. Candy Thomas at the top would be Gerda. Then the Juste could be anybody, guys. When I negotiated those numbers for you guys on your behalf with the board, I knew what kind of money was going to be paid out. But let me tell you what it is. Here's what's going to happen with a lot of you. Some of you guys are ahead. You're going to think, oh, I'm going to hit it no matter what. Your numbers are about to get bigger. Like, you got to hit bigger numbers. Like, you got to start having big, like, you got to catch up and you got to get to 140% because it's going to drop off. That's what's going to happen. You got bigger numbers, you got to grow, right? So if you had a 400 recruit, now you got 800,000. Some of you guys got to really grow those numbers. If you did 600,000 points, you got to do 1.2 million points to be at 100%. 125% is going to be, 1.5 million points. So you can't get too casual about it, but this is the reality of it. 2 months later, and most of you are on track to bonus. Some of you who are not, get back on the ball. Look, everything is set for this year to be your year where everything changes in your life financially. Everything is set. And I'm talking to all of you, from the smallest MD to the biggest MD. Everything is set up. It's like a silver plate this year. I would be having the record. I would be so focused this year. So focused this year. You're going to make more money this year than you made the last 5 years combined. Some of you. Some of you are going to make more money this year than your entire lifetime combined, if you do it right. Some of you are going to make more money in a month than you've made the last 4 years combined. And I'm being very real with everybody. That's what's set up this year. So this is why the 0 to 1 million point base shop race right now. Ricky and Erica have the lead. They hit 500 recruits first, but Vargas has have the lead on new checks with 31 new checks. And they got the lead in that area way ahead of everybody else. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. The race for board council, Sapalas are about to become a board council team first before everybody, and they'll be joining us in the board meeting with the carriers. I mean, this is just, it's not a year to be distracted. I set up the comp structure in a way for you to be fully focused to go out there and get the results. And you do it right, you will look back realizing this was the best year ever. You'll tell the story for the rest of your life. If there was a year that I ever ran and really changed the course of my legacy of my family, was 2019. But it's going to require to go wide, require to keep recruiting, require to stay focused, require not just chase a big sale or just hunt big sales, because you got to have a well-balanced business. Everything qualifications a balanced business. New checks. Oh my gosh, I got to get new checks. Yes, because you need new field trainers. You need new field trainers. We prayed for a time like this to have a business that gave us a life like this. And that's what we got going on. By the way, tonight, all the chairman's councils are getting together. The 6 chairman's council, they're all getting together in Vegas. And they're bringing a few of their people, and they're strategizing. You know what they're talking about? The future of the company. I'm not a part of it. Gaitan just turned 42 today. It was Vera's birthday today. I talked to Gaitan, had a great conversation. I had a lot of good conversation with Vargas, Sapalas, all these guys in a very good place right now with the company. Talked to Palau today. He's in a very good place. He brought his recruits back up with his base. Got 3 people about to pop out to MD. Good things are taking place across the board right now. Pretty much everywhere with the company. I will keep it very simple with you. I would be so flippin' focused today. I wouldn't let anything, anybody distract me today. I would minimize everything to stay focused because the upside is so big history-wise, legacy-wise, financial, the upside is so big that you staying focused is going to give you value on your business 100x 5 years from now versus some people just chasing profits right now. It won't even make sense today, but it makes sense to a lot of you guys. We're going to look back and say, never forget what Pat said that one time. So you got the numbers, you got the data. Gang, I'm looking forward to seeing some of those MDs that are, your plus minus isn't great for you to really show up and have a strong closeout next 14 days. I'll do an update again for everybody in the company, but that's going to be a different kind of a video with a surprise in it. You'll see what it is once it goes out. But get your guys to the Cowboys Stadium. Get your guys to train the trainers because these are special times. Can't wait to see which one of you guys close out the next 14 days strongest so we can crack. It's going to be the biggest recruiting month ever. We're going to do 5,000. If 70% of you guys are focused, we'll crack 6,000. If 100% of you guys are focused, we'll shock everybody and crack 7,000. 7,000 in 1 month if all of us are focused. If 70% are focused, we'll crack 6,000. 6,000. But if everybody's focused, 7,000 recruits this month. 7,000 recruits this month. We could pull it off. Just imagine how big the convention is going to be while you're speaking on stage. It's going to be amazing. Anyways, let's go finish them on strong, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.